A couple things. I decided to check into face overlays as I do, and I'm also gonna make sure I've got some. Okay. Also gonna make sure I've got some. Okay. Oh, no problem with OBS. Okay, I'm just gonna mute this damn thing. No problem. All right, so gonna go over my conclusions about face overlays in Windows. If you have Windows and you're running on bare metal, face overlays may be something you'd want to use, but it's not really all that great, in my opinion. They're fun to check out once in a while, but at the end of the day, they really don't work all that well, either in Manycam or in FaceRig. I ended up buying the damn thing in FaceRig. Now basically, the way things were working in Windows 10 in VirtualBox, where I had the camera shared into VirtualBox and the microphone shared in VirtualBox, I went through the process of installing Steam, getting FaceRig. Takes a while to get the damn thing going because Steam wants to do some of the system administration for you. So it's in there. Finally, when I got to run, it ran okay, but I wasn't really impressed. Maybe it was more of a novelty when I didn't have it available to me to see some of the cartoon character talk, and conform to your face. Having said that, I still would like to have something like that available in Linux. Now, the closest thing OBS ever comes to, and I'll probably be able to show it in here anyway, and the instructions for OBS are very complicated as it is, but I'm going to go to, for example, I could add a image. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There's somewhere there, I forgot what it was. Well, you could do this. You can have like a little cartoon running in the background, and I can do a window capture, X composite, and then I could decide what I'm going to choose is the volume control, which is black. Actually, that's silly. Let me get some app running here. Like one of my emulators. If I go to properties here, I could say I want Virtual Boy Advance to be a part of all of this, which would, is that what I have here? So see, I have two things. If I got rid of my screen capture, for example, where's this thing? I can make this thing kind of big, actually. Do some things with OBS you're not going to be able to do with FaceRig or Manycam. That's for sure. The YouNow app will let you do stuff like this, but I'm not sure it's this fancy in this way. The one thing it will not do is a good FaceRig. So I can be like Or I could have a picture in the background. I can move things around. I can make it smaller. The pictures look completely different. I'm just going to close this. I'm going to go back into OBS. And I'm going to head back my screen capture. I'm going to remove the window capture. I'm going to put this back up. Have priority. All right. There's some other thing here. I forgot what the hell it was. Color source. That's kind of lame. I don't even remember what it was. It might have been an image. Let's see. That's what it was. I think. There was something else I found on some webpage. I couldn't even find. So Dracula, and you can't even move him. He's just there. I'm getting rid of this. All right. So OBS has a lot of things that are good. I agree with that. But OBS is missing a lot of stuff as well. So, what it's missing are the overlays, but it didn't work so well when I had it in Windows, running in Windows inside a virtual machine. Came out black when I had the overlay going, one of these bunny things. Face rig, even with the patch that I tried out for Wine, I took the time to compile Wine, I took the time to uninstall it from my system and use the installed source that I had compiled. Will run Steam, but it would anyway. But it will not really properly get Face Rig ever really to install. It tried to launch once and then just went. So kudos to the people that got Face Rig running. And what I didn't do is I didn't get it using whatever Gallium is. I just patched it for the video recorder, and I thought maybe the patch for the video recorder would allow it to at least get my webcam to work in Wine. So Wine is it emulates the Windows as best it can, but not completely system calls. So you can run things like Lotus 123 and Microsoft Access and Mass 90 and things like that. But it can't emulate everything, but it's pretty good. And sometimes some games run really, really well, almost as well as it does in the native environment. But that's what this thing called Gallium. I also tried something called SplitCam, and it wouldn't install in Wine. Manycam, at least installed in Wine, or I think they both installed in Wine, but Manycam would just error out some kind of bug, couldn't find the local DLLs that were right there in the directory. Not necessarily Manycam's fault, just something going on with Wine. And sometimes things don't work in Wine for crazy reasons, like the tax program we use here won't run in Wine because it wants to be the administrator. And the Wine developers say that everybody's the administrator, so you're just out. And now we're screwed. What's going on? Your audio from my computer sounds fine, but your audio from my phone sounds glitchy. It's probably because of Wi-Fi. Because it couldn't be anything else, I don't think. Anyway, so final verdict on anybody that's adventurous, at least from my perspective, to get Face Rig to run in Linux is a no. probably will not work. It worked at one time, so you have to find out what version of wine these guys were using, find out all their patches, not just some of them. There is one webpage where someone talks about getting it to work. In fact, it's Le Blog Jean Tissier. Am I ever going to get that title up there? Come on, go down. There we go. I'll just go to the webpage since I happen to be in here. Some patches were supposed to go into so he's got some stuff on getting gallium to work, and I guess he's made some changes. He's got his own thing of wine going here. These are older versions of, well, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. And then he looks at, he's got gallium going, whatever gallium is. You may best be off to use this guy's source if you want to try it. I haven't. I had enough of just patching and waiting half an hour for wine to compile to see that it didn't work. That's me. So the mistake I did make was not getting the guy's source. I probably should use the guy's source and compile it from there. I might try that later, but the weekend's over and I'm not going to do it again. So Manycam won't run in Wine. Manycam will run in Windows. I like having overlays available. They're not really responsive, so when you talk, it's just a solid picture that's there. It more or less fits upon your face. There is some facial recognition going on, but not as much as with FaceRig. Manycam has a lot of features I don't completely understand. There's some people that know how to use it very well. Hi, Dan. But when I try to redirect it to the Firefox interface, it just went black. So that means I would probably have to use the YouNow app. After a while, there's so many different things you have to have running, I think it could have an impact on your performance, and then people can't hear you or whatnot. Because if you have the YouNow layer, then you have the Manycam layer, then you have this layer, you have that layer, it could have an impact on performance. But it works for some people, and you get a lot more flexibility when you do that kind of stuff. But I haven't been able to deal with that stuff yet, and I don't know if I'm going to do it in Windows anyway. What I'm really interested is finding capabilities in Linux, because that's what I do. OBS, I haven't had any microphone problems. With Linux here on Firefox, every time I start and I use the Firefox interface, I got to pick my camera. If I want to guest with someone, if I don't pick my camera in time when they guest me, well, I just don't get connected. Then they think I don't want to talk with them or be a guest on their broadcasts, and that's not true at all. So it could get difficult if you have more than one mic on your Linux system. And as far as I could tell, Pulse Audio sucks because there just simply isn't a way to say use this thing as my default mic. At least that's intelligible and worth your time with all the reading. Yeah, and I've done a lot of reading on it actually, and tried a lot of different things. It really didn't work that well. So OBS doesn't present that problem to you. OBS gives you control of your mic and your camera before you even broadcast. Where Firefox, the problem is that it has a limitation in it. And I know there's a little GUI on YouNow that allows you to pick your mic and camera, but it doesn't stick. And before you get in the guest queue, you can pick your mic and camera, but that doesn't stick. You still have to change your thing. And my screensaver came on, but hey. Alright. So, I'm happy enough with this. I think I would have a lot of performance problems if I tried to use FaceRig under regular Windows, or especially the way I have things set up here, where I'm running a VirtualBox. I know there's a decrease in performance and networking in VirtualBox. I know that's a fact. So, Wish it wasn't, but that's the case. So you don't get complete hardware emulation, although it's pretty damn close. Well, everything but networking, really. Everything else is the same. It's as if you're on bare metal. It's pretty close. It is a good tool to try new operating systems if you ever wanted to do that, but most people don't. The YouNow app, and between that and YouNow, sometimes even having not many layers between you, I haven't found it to be all that reliable at times. It all depends on the time of day, things like that. That depends on whether you're going to be able to broadcast and stay on. There's been people that have been on for a long time that suddenly get disconnected. A lot of the time, I think, it has to do with the fact that they're using wireless, and people that use wireless are not the kind of people that are going to get cords out and connect to their computers, but they probably would have a lot better performance if they did. But if you have wireless and you have a bunch of stuff stacked up on each other, you might start getting some problems with performance. So having said that, I got a bunch of crappy icons on my desk. Also, I'll just mention whether one of the limitations that's out there, Skype for Linux cannot call at this stage, cannot do video calls with a Mac. At least a modern version of a Mac. Now, I haven't tried any of these because I can't. I do have a Mac OS X virtual machine here, but it's too old. So I can't try any of these apps that are made for Mac. They're later, like the Manycam, like the OBS, and try to figure out what problems other people are having with it. OBS is a little bit complicated to get started. It is, there's not much instructions out there, and it assumes you know what a scene and a source is. But once you know what a scene and a source is, it's somewhat straightforward. You do have some control of your mic. You can mute things out, and things like that. Anything else to say here? So far, the best performance I've really had is just going straight into the Firefox web browser and using it that way. But some people prefer not to do that, or the other night there was one unique circumstance. Individual had Firefox for Windows. I don't know what the version of it was, but I don't know if it was YouNow or I don't know if it was Firefox, but he was unable to guess that way, but he was able to guess with the YouNow app. But when he used the YouNow app, it froze a lot on his end. So some people are kind of getting choked out of being able to use YouNow. On the other hand, some people seem to do really well with Macintosh computers and Macintosh phones, not necessarily laptops. If they have the YouNow app installed in their phone, and in the YouNow program that comes, they could switch up things. Manycam has a couple cool things. You could put your connect it to another app you have on your system and have it display, what you have on your phone or things like that. That's not really available for Linux as far as I know. There probably is a Manycam for Android, but whether it's going to redirect to the Linux platform is probably not going to happen, because the Manycam is not going to run in Linux. But if I were really desperate and I spent maybe 6 months at it, I could probably Wireshark, figure out what the hell is going on, tell a programmer, and maybe they'd be able to come up with something. But as of right now, no. Plus, it really isn't my goal. Anyway, all this stuff, you can do an awful lot in Linux, and you can broadcast, you can have audio. You can't have somewhat of overlays. You can't have, you know, different things on your screen. You can almost do everything the other things can do. You just can't have a little cartoon cover your face and talk for you. But that's about it. Now, supposedly there's something called Xmod that I haven't tried, and if there's a way to... Is it Xmod map? No. Oh, I forgot what it was. I downloaded it today. Let me look at my history. Xmorph. That's what it is. If there was a way to redirect output from this and make it a virtual camera, so you now would know it's a virtual camera due to the fact that Firefox detects a virtual camera. Let's try this. What was the name of that thing? Go back. Xmorph. Supposedly you can, you know, get one picture over here, and make them do things, warp it together. But to make it animated, I'm not sure if that even works. It might not. Don't know. The other stuff in Manycam would doesn't do as good of a job as a Snapchat does with making your face look different. It does have some things that are kind of distort or whatever, but not really all that great, actually, in my opinion. I wouldn't. It just doesn't look funny. I mean, you know, if it looked funny, it'd be okay, but it just doesn't. Again, I could do lots of better things with my face, you know. Put lipstick on, you know, turn my head around, put some sunglasses on, and I look really different. So, I'm not too disappointed, but I am disappointed in the fact that there's just an option that's not available for the Linux users. It also is disappointing that Steam didn't turn out to be something that if it runs in Steam, it'll run everywhere. And I wish it wasn't that way. I wish it was that way, actually. No, it wasn't that way. The opposite. I wish it was that way. Kind of like Android. Now, there's other things you can do. You can emulate Android in VirtualBox. But whether it will run Manycam, someone might be able to come up with some neat way to do that. It's been a while since I set up an Android virtual machine, but you can pass control of the camera to whatever guest operating system you have, so it would have a camera, and maybe that's the way to go about it. It is a little bit complicated. I think you need something called Eclipse to get Android in the VirtualBox. Here's a how-to geek thing. You grab the Android ISO. When was the last release of this thing? Release notes. Alright, June this year, so it's still active. About by the time I'm done looking for to download this frickin' thing. Right. I don't want an RPM file. In fact, I'll just do this maybe. Got a little bit of time. And what, we have another thing to click? Let me just do it. Download the frick. There we go. That's going to take 2 minutes, so that's not less than 2 minutes. Not too bad, so I'll try it out. How to go back to the how-to geek. I might as well just do this. And then I'll see if I can get Manycam in there. Maybe that's the way to go about it. If you want to do something like that. .32-bit. 2048 virtual disk image, 8 gigs. Standard. Okay, so it's 8 gigs. Now it's going to take 2 hours. Come on. Giddy up. We're looking here. 8 gigs of disk space. It's probably too small. 4 gigs of RAM. Got nothing else running. And that one, if I was to just do it here. Yeah. I've only done this once. Linux. There we go. Yeah, 32-bit. Make sure that's what we're doing. x86, right. I recommend 4 gigs. Son of a bitch. Alright, we'll do that. PDI. Dynamically, let's create that. Alright, so there's Android. So when this is done downloading, I'm going to insert it. This one's 3 hours. For Christ's sake. Here we go. Sometimes it pays to restart the download. Sometimes it pays to restart the download. Alright, just go in here, settings. So I gotta do my network, bridge adapter, of course, storage. Choose my virtual disk. See how easy that is? Alright. Bridged. Yeah, let's use it. Fine. Okay, start her up. Install Android. I'll select all the defaults. And we'll write this. Yes, there's nothing to lose. Quit. Yeah. So potentially with Android installed on this virtual machine, I could run Android programs on my Linux system. Wow. Give control of my camera to the Android thing and broadcast from there. Let's see if I can do that. Now, devices, I'm going to remove that. No, bootable medium found. Why is that? That's not the way it's supposed to go. Let's try it again. Droid. Come on, droid. You can do it. Welcome. Your battery is low. Why is my mouse not being used? USB tablet, that's why. Okay, let's reset this son of a bitch. So let's turn the machine off. Remove that. Alright, it's getting annoying. I mean, standard. What's wrong? Standard installation is to create a bootloader, for fuck's sake. So I gotta do exactly this way. New partition, primary, right. Okay, fine. Dude, what the hell? Class, I need to get another version. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, so I gotta get another one. I've done it before. I'm getting tired of this. All right. There's 6 marshmallow. Fine. Let's fuck. 64-bit. When is it running? Come on. Now I'm really interested to try this. This is probably going to take too long. It's supposed to just work. And it did last time. I tried this 2 years ago and it worked. Alright. It's like the BSD installer. I think it's going to do the same thing. Maybe I'm supposed to say no to grub. Why the hell have it if it's not going to work? Take the CD out. This damn thing better work. Oh shit fit. What the fuck? Alright, another way to do this. Go to virtualboxes.org. Two 2009? Come on. Do you have fucking banner ads? 64-bit. This fucking download, man. Are we done? Unknown time. Okay, I think it was like 300 megs. And maybe I have to have it connected to an IDE controller. That's what's going on. It doesn't say. Any comments? No comments. Alright, let's count up to 300 some. $317 megs. This is the operating system that's installed in a lot of phones. So the vendors support it. No one cares about agnostic being OS agnostic. All right. Let's find this damn thing. $2 gigs. Well. $2 gigs. I think it's done. All right, let's pick that one. Come on. Someone else was kind enough to set it up for me. I might as well use the damn thing. We gotta go. Fuck, man. BlueStacks Android Studio? Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to see if I can get Lance. I'm trying to see if I could use Manycam and then pass my camera control off to this. If the freaking mouse integration will work, my god. Damn, man. Alright, so I gotta shut this down. At least I know it's working, but now I gotta get the mouse integration to work. Do I even have any mouse control? No, I don't. So I gotta risk it. Just not too risky with all systems today. Alright. What is the freaking problem? Do I need a PS2 mouse? What's the deal? What are we doing that for? Let's start this. So with all these fancy programs on our cell phones, we might as well be able to use them. Jesus. Linux, for God's sakes. BlueStacks Android Studio, maybe that's what I want to do. We'll find out. You're supposed to have a program called Eclipse to even run this. Or that's some other way to do it. Alright, do I have mouse integration? Yes. 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 Alright, now where is the Play Store? Or do we get one of those? Or do I have to... No, man, don't do that. No, why does this look like frickin' Ubuntu, man? I hate that shit. What? Come on. Okay, I guess I better check for BlueStacks. Why would it reboot by using the fucking search? What's this little guy? Wasn't like this when I tried it last time. Yes, let's reboot constantly. How do you quit this stuff? Are you rebooted? God damn it. Alright. This doesn't seem very reasonable. But, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to use one of those other ones. Now they know how to fucking boot. I don't know why I'm gonna spend so much time on this shit. Alright. BlueStacks Android Studio, that's what I need to look for. I don't even know if I have BlueStacks on Windows. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing Windows right now. Come on. I was using Grub. Why would I skip that? I think I just brought myself back to where I was before. Script Wizard. What's up, Script Wizard? What am I doing wrong? This year, if it's as disappointing as that other one was, forget it. Last time I used it, it actually worked. Do I have to boot from this freaking CD? I don't get it. What do I have in here? 64-bit. What settings do I have? 64. Maybe the other one was 32-bit, that's what was going on. Come on. This year. Offend you. Offend you. Okay, sometime this year. I'm dying here. Installer is going to create a disk image to save user data. Create the image. Yeah, they probably assumed that's probably what's going on. Probably a bug in the installer if you don't. Come on, man. I don't want to be here the time. I want to go home. Rebooting I mean, I didn't get that far. EFI. Let's see. What the fuck is going on here? Toggle bootable? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fucking god, I had to toggle it bootable. Kind of installer doesn't toggle the only partition is bootable. So you have to toggle it bootable. I think I fanned you, yeah. Now the mouse integration needs to work, and then we'll be okay. Go. The hard disk is reading something, so we don't know what it's doing here. Anyway, VirtualBox, you can pass the camera off. The problem is whether I can get anything to actually work. So I've installed the Android operating system here, now it needs to work. gonna be going home soon. Let's go. Come on, let's go. That's a performance extravaganza, man. Alright, I'm gonna see if I get Manycam in this thing. Fuck it, man. Who cares? Fucking setup wizard. Welcome. Let's go. Checking for updates. Checking for drivers. Sign up for Google services. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. This may take an hour. What if I don't care about the updates? Can we skip it? I have a bad attitude. Can we just go? What to do, what to do. This is a boring presentation. What's up? I'm doing the Android system in my virtual box. How you doing? It's probably not going to be all that, well, thank you, but it's probably not going to be all that exciting. Actually, why is it looking for frickin' Wi-Fi? Okay? I'm not interested in Wi-Fi. No. This is a really boring setup here. I'm doing like a technical thing. But it's alright. Alright. What's going on, Rebecca? Why is everybody coming now? I'm gonna do static, man. Jesus. Okay, that's good enough. That's not right. This is really kind of bad. I want to do static, you poop. So this is like a phone operating system that I love you to. I'm gonna go home pretty soon though. I'm probably gonna leave pretty soon, but okay. So I'm trying to do Manycam in an Android VirtualBox. It's not really gonna do very well. Well, it might if I can get it to run, and I may just do this tomorrow. When I started out just doing an overview of options for people in weird operating systems like my own, so it's really not all that great. But thanks for coming by, and I probably should go by yours more often. I'm doing too many things, and but I should go by yours more often, and I'm doing too many things. I probably should go home pretty soon. But it's good to see you though. I love it. I love it. But I hope you had fun with your reading and stuff like that. And maybe I'll just quit this thing for now. But I gotta get out of it. This is like, I don't know. This is a desperate move to see if I can get Manycam working in Linux, but not sure it's gonna work so well. It's good to see you though. And also I'm in OBS, I can't even guess. Tomorrow I'll be broadcasting with some Jack. Okay, good. I want to see you. I want to come by and say hi. I haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're doing okay with some Jack Pot. Is his last name Daniel? Or someone named Jack that I've never met? Before I go. But honorary sunglasses, they gotta come. How you doing? Alright, Nucleus. I'm not a fan of everybody that came by because you're cool. Australia. Hey, what's going on? Alright, well, I should quit now. I have to quit now. I have to go home. But it's good to see everybody. I know this is a really boring... Yes, Jack Daniels, this is me. Sorry this is a boring presentation. And every time I go into OBS, people come by that want to guest and stuff. So this is my OBS studio. Wow. Ooh. Alright. It's good to see you guys. Good night.